Thank you to all the amazing listeners out there. On behalf of the Reef Podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future mentions and new episodes. Have a great day.
Woo! Welcome everybody to another edition of the Reef Podcast. My name is LuisIpa, bringing you all 51 episodes so far of the podcast here. I'm joined by my good man Kratos here, and we got an amazing guest with us all the way from India. Please welcome Mr. VK here from BornMonkie. Welcome in, sir.
Hi guys.
Man, so happy to see you here, man. I mean, I know it's a little early for you over there, but how are you today? How are you feeling?
Good.
Man, so in case you guys don't know, he actually is a indie game developer for the company BornMonkie, and he's gonna tell you all a little bit about himself, and then we're actually gonna go ahead and start with the Q&A. So you have the floor, VK.
So hi, I'm Samhit. I'm the founder of BornMonkie. We've been running BornMonkie for about 8 years now. We made a lot of mobile games in the early phases, like the first few years, and then we've shifted to PC and console. And we're working on two games right now. One is launching this year. It's called Dodo Duckie. It's a puzzle platformer. It has a neat twist of switching between 2D and 3D.
Gotcha.
And the game that's coming next year is Upper Chamber. It's an action horror game.
That's awesome.
That is also a pretty exciting game. Yeah.
That's awesome. And in case you guys don't know that are listening out there, we actually are live on Twitch and of course on Twitter under Spartan Gang's Twitter. So shout out to Spartan Gang for letting us actually use their Twitter to actually broadcast this on Twitter. And of course all you guys that are listening to us on live on Twitch as well. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for making our podcast be the center of your entertainment for the night. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and start, and I'll let Nightmare start with the first question.
Okay, so I know I'm probably going to steal Louis' main question here, but what got you into developing video games?
So I used to be very interested in animation when I was like very young, and I somehow figured out that you can use Flash to make animations. Adobe Flash, if you guys remember the Flash days. Um, so I started picking up Adobe Flash, and then somehow I figured out that you could also program in the same software, and that is when something clicked. So I started making art inside Flash, and then animating them, and then programming and making these tiny platforming games, and that is how the passion for video games started. Obviously, I used to play a lot of games from the very early stage, so I was pretty interested in video games. And then when I discovered that I could make them myself with very little effort, it just snowballed into like a full-on passion.
That's awesome. So all the time, you said you grew up with video games a lot. So what was the first memory that you remember from back when you were actually on your younghood? Like, what was a game that you always played that you're like, oh man, this is actually a game that I always loved when I was a kid?
Yeah, so I think um, Super Mario would be like the first game that I played. Um, you know, I mean, it's the dodgy version of Nintendo. We don't have the real Nintendo in India, so we have the clones of them, but the games are still the same. So so Super Mario would be like the first game that I believe I played, and it really left a great impression on me. All the games, all the Nintendo games.
That's awesome. All right, what you got, Nightmare?
So I'm assuming there's more than just you on the team for who's all building the game. Is there anybody specific you want to shout out with the team for what they do with this game?
I would say Vincent, the art director from France. I think he's done a great job with this game. The switching between 2D and 3D is very difficult game to make art for, because you have essentially two worlds that you need to manage art. So this was a difficult task, and then we had to bring in Vincent. So I think Vincent deserves a shout out for sure.
Gotcha. All right. So without further ado, before we continue with our questions here, guys, we're gonna show you a grand premiere of a little teaser trailer for Dodo Duckie. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll be back in a minute. All right. That was Dodo Duckie. So you said that you played Mario, and I could actually feel the Mario vibes, like from Super Mario 64 on that game.
Awesome.
I feel like I feel like it's like a Super Mario 64, and I can't wait to get my hands on it next month, because I'm actually excited and thankful that you were able to get us some Steam keys to actually try it out, and we can't wait to show it like to our viewership like over here on Twitch, and like showcase like what the game is capable of. So if you don't mind me asking, how long did it took this game to be developed?
So we've been in production from December last year, like 2024 December. It's pretty, like actual production. So what happened with this game is I've tried to like make this, at least try to get this game going in the last 10 years. Like I've tried 3 times, and then it never worked. And then last year in 2024 December is when we officially we had time and money to like get this ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been solid 6 months, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
So we see there the shift from 2D to 3D. What exactly made you want to use that style for a mechanic?
So that was the core idea which I wanted to make a game on. A game where you're switching between 3D and 2D. Obviously, there are games that have done this previously, but the twist that we have is we have some abilities that are available in 3D, some abilities that are available in 2D. For example, you can't jump in 3D, so whenever you're doing platforming, you'll have to switch to 2D to like do platforming. And then you can't shoot in 2D. That means whenever you need to, shoot at something, turn it on and off and whatnot, you're only able to do that in 3D. So there are abilities that are, part of both perspectives, and that is what makes you switch and solve puzzles and do platform.
Interesting. Is it gonna be available only on Steam, or is it gonna be later ported to like Switch 2 or PlayStation or anything like that?
Yeah, so Switch would be like the next platform we'll hit once we launch on PC, and then we'll go to all platforms depending on our budgets and all. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean,
but Switch for sure.
It looks like it's gonna be a fun game, especially on Switch. It'll be great to have it like on the go instead of basically like sitting at your comfortable your home. Hey, why not take it on the go and just play it on the go? And if you don't mind me asking, what is the price that the game is gonna be?
So for PC, we're thinking $12.99. It'll probably be at a 10% discount on launch, but yeah, that is the price that we're looking.
That's still not bad. $12.99 is not bad. That's actually not bad for a game like that. And is there gonna be like a repetitivity? Like you can actually replay it as many times, or like will there be like different things that you can unlock, or how does it work?
Yeah, so you have you can buy different hats, and then these hats have different abilities, so it kind of spices up the game. Um, so the default one that you have, the propeller hat, is the default skin, but the entire point of the game is you get to unlock different hats, and they unlock new modes. We have three different worlds, and you can there are hidden paths that you might not be able to discover in the first playthrough or whatnot. So I feel like you'll have plenty of replayability with it for sure.
Gotcha. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
You mentioned before this is the third attempt to get this game developed. What would you say is the biggest hurdle for the first two that changed with this third chance?
Yeah, so I think it was figuring out on the art for both 2D and 3D. So we were the main challenge is to use same art for both 2D and 3D and somehow make it look good in both perspectives. So that was the biggest challenge because if we cannot figure that out, that means we'll have to build two different worlds. That means making twice the game. So that was the biggest problem. So we've done a lot of tests previously, a lot of different prototypes, and nothing felt great. Where we thought, okay, we can show this to the real world, right? Like it was playable, but we never felt that okay, this is a real game. It feels good. So the third time is when we figured out an art style that kind of looked great in 2D and 3D together. So. It was mostly like an art challenge and few game mechanics that finally clicked.
Interesting. So let me ask you this: if the game is actually successful, you think like you guys might actually work in a sequel or anything like, or add DLC or anything like that?
DLCs for sure. I mean, we'd love to have some new worlds as DLCs. I believe at least one free DLC should be in the pipeline for sure once it launches, alongside a Switch release. So yeah, DLCs are very much in the pipeline, like are part of the plan. Not sure about sequels. I mean, if it's really doing well, then for sure, if there is demand and interest. But yeah, like we have another game to get to after this, so I'm not sure entirely like if we'll hit a sequel that early.
Gotcha. Okay. So what challenges do you think you can face, like as release date gets close, like what challenges do you expect to come, like with this game? Like do you think like people overall are gonna like enjoy it, or are they gonna like basically be a little confused that you basically are a little ducky running around trying to get coins and get things?
Got it. So marketing is a bit tricky for this game for sure. I mean, it's been doing great with streamers. It's been great on Reddit. We are getting great reactions and whatnot. But I think the biggest hurdle would be to reach enough wishlist before launch. Since this is a launch, we're publishing this ourselves. So I think we need to make sure people understand why we are switching between 2D and 3D and why is this an exciting game. I think that would be our biggest challenge to convince through marketing. So yeah, those are the challenges, and reaching significant number before launch is very important for a good launch.
Gotcha. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
So I'm going to ask a question here, and I think it was missed, but it's a valid question. Does the duck in the game lay eggs?
No. Yeah, it doesn't.
All right. So
you can grab eggs that are in the world, and these eggs are like keys in the game. So we can take these eggs and then place them in their key holders and whatnot. So that is there, but like the duck doesn't do any egg laying for sure.
Hmm. Interesting. So, what was the meaning behind the what is it? A kappa, like the little hamster-looking thing. What is it called? A kappa.
Capybara,
Yeah. So,
capybara. Yeah.
so what is the main purpose of him or her on the game?
So capybara is like the merchant in the game. So it gives us all these tools and new abilities for each level. So even the hat, and if you play the game for the first few minutes, you are not able to switch between 2D and 3D. And then you talk to capybara, it gives you the hat, and then once you put on the cap, and you can start switching between perspectives. So uh, you are buying different caps from capybara. So it's a merchant, and that is kind of the entire purpose of the NPC. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Nightmare, you're up.
So I know we've been talking a lot about this game. Is there a game before this that you've helped work on?
So we've had services that we do in the studio that that are under NDA and whatnot. So we have made or helped make a lot of VR and PC titles. And before that, we had a lot of mobile games that we released in India. So this would be like our first PC debut as our own product. But yeah, like. We've been doing this for a very long time now. Yeah.
And has any of that helped you with building this game?
For sure, yeah. So our entire expertise is in Unreal Engine, and all the games that we helped make over the years are all in Unreal Engine. So like we've learned a lot during production with all these different games, and with that knowledge is what we're trying to make this game.
Gotcha. All right, so we got a question from Milk Crates. He or she says, "What is your revenue structure for the game build you have been presenting? Is it single purchase, in-game shop, sub base, etc.?"
Yeah, it's a single player premium game, so you pay once and then that's about it. And that if there are paid DLCs in the future, but yeah, like we are looking at a single premium purchase. Yeah,
Gotcha. And what was
no microtransactions.
what is what was the inspiration behind choosing a duck out of all the characters, all the things that you could choose? Like, why a duck?
Uh, so we tried a bunch of things. It was a humanoid kid earlier. It did not feel goofy enough. I think that was um, the explanation. Like I've tried a bunch of things, but nothing felt goofy enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to try. And Samveda, my sister, was the producer here in the studio. She just is a massive duck fan, and she watches a lot of duck, these duck videos and whatnot. So and capybara videos and whatnot.
that's
But
that's
so while
awesome.
we were discussing, she said she did not suggest to use the duck, but I can see the appeal of how goofy the ducks are, and I was like, let me try, character design of a duck and see how it feels. And we have on my Twitter, you'll see like a very old footage of a duck. It's even more goofier than what we have right now, like very weird animations, very jumpy and whatnot. The early prototype.
All right, Nightmare, what you got?
We actually have another question here. I feel like this is a little bit of asking for a spoiler, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Sweetened by Bunny asks, "What is the main goal of the ducky? Why is the duck collecting coins and hearts?"
I mean, that is pretty much a game design thing, right? Like why does Mario collect coins and whatnot? So that being said, you still have utility in the game. You are spending these coins to buy new hats, new abilities in the game. And why is the duck on this adventure? That is because duck Dodo Duckie was raised by Dodo Duckie was raised in a farm along with chickens. So there is these chickens were then abducted by aliens, and now Dodo is trying to find them. That is, the gist of the story. And the entire theme is that Dodo is still thinks it's a duck. It still thinks it's a hen, and throughout the game, it figures out what it means to be a duck, and it learns to swim. It learns to be a duck. So, yeah.
Now here's the big question: does the duck actually fly ever?
Yeah. So you after the, I mean, this would be a spoiler, but yeah, the duck can. I would say glide would be a good way to say. So it'll jump, double jump, and then you could glide. Um, so that's the max movement. I wouldn't say it's fly, but yeah,
Okay, so it can actually glide at least. I mean, I know ducks can't fly, but I mean, still, at least like it's kind of funny that it can
yeah, you
actually
could
do.
glide. Yeah, yeah,
Now, can he actually earn different abilities over time or no?
yeah. So each level you will pick up new abilities. Like first level you don't have shooting. Second level you get to have shooting in 3D. You can shoot from the propeller ducks. Um, at
That is awesome.
and then each level you get to like do something new.
Gotcha.
So that's actually helps you from not getting bored, and also we can play with new mechanics in every level.
All right, Nightmare, what you got?
So the mechanics of like the gliding and all that seems like it's based from Spyro. Is this an accurate description, or is it based somewhere else?
I mean these are all great games, and we do get some inspiration from these games, but the glide, double jump, and like these are pretty much expected in modern platformers at this point. So for sure, we have our inspirations from these classics, but we don't have like a single source for sure. For example, double jump and glide, we have Ori, which does that very well. Once you unlock all the abilities and whatnot. So yeah, so we have inspirations, but we don't have like a single source for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome that you guys actually basically take inspiration from all previous games and you're like, you know what? Let's make our own version. But I mean, let's have ducks and chickens, right? Like that's what you have.
Yeah.
That get abducted by you.
And the aliens.
Yeah.
You can't forget the aliens.
The aliens abduct chickens. I mean, out of everything, aliens decide to abduct chickens. That's just actually very fascinating. I hope eventually.
Yeah, it's a bizarre story. Yeah.
I hope eventually you do fight the aliens. I don't want spoilers, but I mean, I hope you do get to fight them so they can leave the planet and be like, leave the chickens alone.
Yeah.
And,
That's the plan. Yeah.
yeah, awesome. So, what is what's some tips that you can give, like somebody that actually wants to get into game developing? Like is there any advice you want to give to people that actually are in the pursuing the career, or they're in the career but they want some advice on it? Like, is there anything you can tell them?
Yeah. So the easiest way to get into game development is by just starting. You can just work on. So ideally, I would suggest to not follow. Usually what people do is just follow tutorials, step by step, and start making exactly what the tutorial does. What works with juniors that I've seen is make something that you want to make. When you're making it, whenever you have a hurdle, start looking for a tutorial online. Finish that hurdle and then move on, but still keep making your game. That way, you get to exercise how it is done in real production. So that would be the easiest way to like make a game, and also be also have that problem solving skill built over time.
All right, and we got a question here from Sweden by Bunny saying, do you plan on making more games besides the Ducky game?
Yep. So our action horror game Occult Chambers, which also got Epic Mega Grant from Epic Games, is the next game that will launch possibly next year, if I don't have delays. But yeah, so that is an action horror game, very different, very polar opposite to what Dodo Duckie is. So yeah, there are a lot of plans to like make more games in the future.
Gotcha. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
We talk a lot about the Ducks' abilities and the Ducks, the gameplay style. What's the most difficult thing that you're proud you were able to do with this game?
I would still say, uh, the way we made the game seamless, switching between 2D and 3D. It's pretty instant, and you have a lot of interactivity. All the grass is interactable in 3D. It's interactable in 2D as well, and then you have a duck that has very good locomotion. That is, it can run, glide, double jump, slide, and then also grab objects and whatnot. So I'll say like figuring out the 3D to D switch. That's seamless. I've seen streamers react to it as well. I mean, if you play the game, you'll also get to see it. The first time you switch between 2D to 3D, you'll have that wow effect for sure. So I always enjoy watching streams for that moment where people get to see the switch. So that I think is something that I'm proud of. Yeah.
Gotcha. As you can see, I mean, I don't know if you're watching the live right now. We have a lot of support from Spartan Gang and a lot of new people here as well. So I want to thank everybody that has been watching us here. Apparently, there has been technical difficulties on the Twitter side. I mean, more than likely, they'll be fixed for the next episode. But I mean, we want to thank Spartan Gang still to let us actually broadcast this, when it actually works for Twitter. I mean, they have been amazing. They've been great. And as you can see, we have so many questions from the community already. So shout out to Spartan Gang and Cicada, who's their owner, for bringing on a lot of people to actually interact with you, talk with you, get to know more about the game coming out, and we really cannot thank them enough. So my next question that I have is, I mean, this is actually not a personal, but I mean, just to get to know you a little bit and everything, is what is your go-to music, when you actually making your games and stuff, what do you listen to mostly, out of different genres of music?
Uh, I think I listen to a lot of indie music. There is this channel called X Keto. I don't know if you guys know. And then Suicide Sheep. These two channels on YouTube have great indie music. So yeah, that plays in the background while I'm working. Acts like my white noise while I work.
Gotcha. What you got, Nightmare?
Actually, I have another question here. Milk Crates asked, so are you using two different environments that just snapshots the 2D when swapping to 3D, or vice versa?
No, so it's the same world. The camera switches between perspective to ortho. Ortho is a flat camera, so everything, the entire world feels like it's flat. And then when you switch to perspective, it's like your iPhone camera. It's a real camera. So it's the same world. That was the tricky part, right? Like to not have two different worlds and then switch between two different worlds. We wanted to have same world, but just be able to reuse it for 2D as well. I hope that's clear.
That's actually really. I mean, I'm pretty sure during the viewers that are actually watching right now, I wouldn't be surprised if people are actually taking notes, okay, this, because I mean, it's always good to take notes. I mean, when you actually want to make a game or you want to actually get that inspiration to do it. I mean, you probably right with me on this. Isn't video games like a form of art now? It's not more. It's not like
Yeah.
It's not like something that you just, hey, here's a video game. It's basically an art that you make.
For sure, yeah. Like a lot of passion goes into making video games, and yeah, we should treat it as art because it has a sense of it can evoke emotions, and people play to kind of have some kind of emotional reaction when you're playing a game, right? So definitely art for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And here's a silly question: if you never got into video game developing ever, what kind of career path would you actually go into?
I would say adjacent to video games, I might be in IT, like software for sure. Um, and that might be the very alternate, timeline for me for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so Sweden Bunny over here asks, out of all the games you could have made, why this one?
So this was exciting for us, and we thought we could do something very special with this concept, and within our scope and budget. So yeah, like we have many games that we prototype over the years, and it has to stick with you over time, and earn that attention. Only then we get to green light these games. This was one of those games that did not leave us after we made like the first good prototype, and we were like, yeah, we should probably like get back to that game. Definitely, is very interesting. If it's interesting for us, then it should be very interesting for gamers for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So, do you have any questions for us as a host and co-host?
I would like to know what kind of games you guys play. What are you playing right now?
I'll let Nightmare answer first.
I play a lot more retro games. So again, Mario. I play Pokemon. I play a lot of the stuff I played growing up. There's a Nintendo 64 sitting right over here. I have a Cube I just got. I'm waiting to get games in
Awesome.
for. So I play a lot of the older games. And then I play a lot of just random indie games that I have. So it varies for mine, but it's
Mhm.
mainly a lot of the older games.
And what are you currently playing like, right now?
The one that I've been playing the most right now is Pokemon Crystal.
Oh wow.
So I've been finishing that up for the first part of the game. We just got into the second part of the game the last stream I was on.
Nice.
Me personally, I mean, NightmareRyzing over here knows the kind of games I love. I'm a big Sims fan, like the Sims
Yes.
franchise.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, anything that's life simulation is great. But I mean, like I said, when I saw that gameplay trailer of your game, I just felt that Mario vibes instantly. So, like I said, I mean, can you actually use a controller that actually is compatible with PC to use it, like to use in the game?
Yeah, you can play it with a controller too. There's a Steam page. Because it's a playtest, it might say not supported, but it's fully supported, so you could play with the controller for sure.
Gotcha. So, Nightmare, looks like we have another question by Sweet and Bunny.
Yes. Sweet by Bunny says, sorry for so many questions, but how has this game changed from the original plan, vision, and design?
So I think it would be way easier if I had to like show you the visuals of the early prototypes, but since this was a concept that we were trying to figure out piece by piece, so how do we do platforming sections? Is the 2D entirely flat when we are in 2D mode? So there were a lot of consideration design decisions, and we had to like weed out all the bad ideas one after the other, and then eventually we found this formula of a seamless experience that is not very confusing to new users. The first prototype was very disorienting, switching between 3D and 2D. People did not feel like it's the same world, and there were a lot of issues. So yeah, a lot of playtesting, and it has improved a lot. I mean, if you jump onto my Twitter, you will see some old footage of very crappy looking prototypes, but you'll understand how it evolved for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. So we have a silly question from Milk Crates. They said, "Are you looking for any hot streamers for playtesting marketing?"
For sure, yeah. If you're interested in playing the game, just hit me up. Yeah.
Definitely. And where can they find you? Like, what social media platforms can they find you at?
Uh, Twitter X would be like the best place to reach out to me. I'm pretty active on Twitter. Yeah.
Awesome.
Week Summit. Yeah.
Hmm. Awesome. So, another question that I had. I mean, it's not like I said. We had a lot of questions that we asked you about the game, which is amazing. But what is your go-to food or drink? Like whenever you actually have downtime from game development.
I mean, I drink a lot of Pepsi, unhealthy amount. Uh, and then the food, I think it's pretty like usually it's home cooked, so I am and whatnot. But if I had to like pick up meal from outside, it would be the chicken biryani from the place where I live is known for chicken biryani, so pretty good.
That's awesome. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
So, what's one thing that you do to help wind down after all the time developing this game? What's something you do away from it to help relax?
Um, I mean, I do read once in a while to like cool down. Reading would be one option for me, and then playing some you know extremely difficult game usually makes me forget about everything else. So yeah, like hardcore games, or reading some old books. That usually works. You just wind down. Yeah.
I think personally, like the winding down moment is always important. No matter if you're a creator, like for video games, or if you're actually creating content, like like for us, this is actually my wind down time. Like I mean, I kid you not, I don't find any stress
Oh wow.
whatsoever when I do my podcast interviews because I love getting to know people. I mean, not just indie game developers but musicians. I just love doing that. It's super fun. The idea came 5 years ago when me and my co-host at the time was named Thomas Govins. He and me and him were sitting down like just playing random games, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, we're content creators. Why don't we start a podcast where we interview content creators, people in general, and see how it goes? And it went from regular content creators like streamers to like literally interviewing everybody, like musicians, uh, people like that very well known. It's insane. Like when you have some passion for something, dude, I'm telling you, you grow so much. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's great that it doesn't feel like work for you guys when you're doing this. So it's awesome to hear.
Gotcha. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
Is there any like gaming conventions that you promote this game?
Sorry, your voice was cut off for me.
Apologies. Has there been any gaming convention that you've gone to or that you're going to help promote this game?
Yeah, so I think last year I came to Gamescom Germany, which happened in Cologne. Um, uh, it was pretty fun. I had like good interactions with people. This time, I think this year we're trying to like do be present online, as in if we have the opportunity, the game will be showcased. We might not be on the floor, but the game will still be there for people to play and all that. So we're trying to do something like that.
Man, I heard they were trying to push. I don't know if they still thinking about it, but for the longest time, I remember they were trying to do like a indie games convention or something. Like there was a talk about it a long time ago, and I was like, man, if they ever do a convention like that with just indie game developers, the amount of people that would probably more than likely go just to try those games it would actually be insane. I kid you not.
Yeah, I think it's about time where now is a great time to have something like that, right? Like there's a lot of indie explosion, like it's at its peak right now, so it would sure make a lot of sense to have something like that.
In case you guys don't know, from V, what he told me is that the game is going to be available on Steam, and then soon after it's going to be ported to the Switch too, correct?
Yeah,
That's
it'll
all.
come to Switch One and Two. Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's going to be on Switch 1?
Yeah.
I gotcha. And, I mean, if you ever incorporate to the Switch too, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so that is the plan. We're trying to get the dev kits, and hopefully by September we should have the dev kits.
Gotcha. All right, so we're gonna show the gameplay trailer one more time because we have brand new people that just joined the podcast here that hadn't seen it yet. So if you're okay with it, we're gonna show them one more time, and then we're gonna get to the final random questions that we ask here. Like, I mean, we're gonna ask you like 2 questions each that don't have to do anything with the interview. It's just like create humor over here because we like to create a little humor to like break the ice. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna show you all the gameplay trailer one more time, and then we're gonna get to our final 2 questions that we have from me and NightmareRyzing. So enjoy. All right, there's the gameplay trailer, and if I heard that correctly, we are actually live now on Twitter. So it looks like they actually fixed it up. So that was actually perfect timing because we were able to showcase the game. So thank you again, V, for allowing us to show that gameplay trailer because I know me personally, I'm gonna be playing it quite a bit on my days that I streamed. And over here, this guy right here is more than likely gonna play it quite a bit too. We might actually try to speedrun, see who actually beats each other, which I know he's gonna more than likely he's probably trying more than likely he's gonna beat me because he's a big speedrunner when it comes to stuff like that. But
not so much speedrunner, just really, really good at.
Yeah, he's big in platforms.
Then you love it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here comes the funny out of nowhere questions that we have for you. So I hope you're ready for these because this is gonna make you think and be like, what kind of people are these? I don't know these people anymore. So question number 1: are you a pizza person or a wings person?
Wings. Yeah.
Wings. Oh, okay. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna steal his then since he steals mine. Does pineapple go on pizza?
Sure. Like, why not?
Now here's the follow up to that though. Do you like it on your pizza or not? Got another one that said no.
See, but he agrees that it goes on pizza.
Yeah.
It looks like we got a rope man in the chat saying like it does belong in pizza as well, and some people are saying smart man. All right, so I'll let you ask your second last question, Nightmare, and then I'll ask the one that I always ask everybody.
Okay, so which is more terrifying to you? Tigers with the ability to swim underwater, or sharks that can fly through the air?
Oh wow, sharks in air. Yeah, definitely sharks in air for sure.
Yeah. Sharks are evil, man. They're pure evil. All right, so final question for me. Every time I ask this question, this is when I lose. I make everybody lose faith in humanity. So, do you eat cereal? By the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before he asks this, for everybody watching, I apologize greatly for what you're about to hear.
All right. Do you pour your cereal first and then the milk, or do you pour the milk first and then the cereal?
It's the cereal first. Yeah.
Cereal first. Well,
and then.
Okay, so pretty much for me, what I do is I actually pour the milk first and then the cereal. And
Okay.
if I tell you how many times I had people, like guests, literally tell me like, the heck is wrong with you? What planet are you from? Are you an alien? Are you like, some weird dude that came from another planet? I swear. Like, they think I'm crazy. They think like, it's bizarre. Like, it's unbelievable.
And if you could see the chat right now.
People literally like looking like, wait, what is going on here? So we got Sweet Bunny here saying that Luis is the alien that kidnapped the chickens. Okay, I might be an alien. Who never know. But I want to thank.
Awesome.
I wanted to thank you again, V, for taking the time to be here. I know it's a little early for you. In case you guys don't know, V is all the way in India, and right now it's like, I believe it's 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Around there, 7.
Yeah. Morning. Yeah.
So early sunshine for him. I know he has a lot of work to do. And one more time, let us know when the game is going to be dropping on Steam.
So the tentative dates are like Q3 of this year, 2025. Possibly the October Steam Fest will hit the demo, and then immediately after the game might release.
Gotcha.
If you have like enough, momentum there. Yep.
So it'll be around the Halloween month, basically.
Yeah, on that month or the following. Yeah.
And I did have one final question about the little ducky that we play as. Why on earth is he wearing one of those hats that has a little spinning blade on top?
Yeah, so the propeller hat is like the default hat in the game. We found that the duck was not silly enough. We wanted the cap to be even more silly, so we picked that cap. But yeah, you have a lot of abilities where the propeller changes shape and then you can shoot through the hat. So
Gotcha.
pretty interesting.
Awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank again Spot'em Gang. I want to thank you, V, for being our guest for the podcast tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna bring it over to Nightmare because he has a big announcement about our merch going live really soon. Nightmare, you have the mic now.
Yes, we have here within probably the next month, we will have a fully live merch store with both our old logo and our new logos coming live, completely ready for anybody to purchase. We are just working on the final touches now. There will hopefully also be a way to help if you guys want to donate to the podcast or send support in any way, shape, or form. You guys should be able to do that. We're working on getting that live on the merch link as well.
Awesome. And I'm gonna give everybody a little hint. Basically, like, for the new one, what I really love about it is because we're actually partnered with Spot'em Gang. Nightmare here was able to recreate the shirt with our Spot'em Gang logo right here on the shoulder. So you'll see Spot'em Gang right here, and you'll see our logo right here. And we might have different editions. I mean, we'll see how creative Nightmare can get. But I want to personally, like I said, thank Zakeda, Spot'em Gang for letting us be part of their team because, dude, this is like the biggest we've done. And like I said, 5 years doing this podcast has been a blessing for everybody. And again, V, thank you again, my friend. I hope we stay in touch because I know we have a big surprise for next year. I'm not going to spoil anything because, I know me and you talk behind camera. I don't want the spoilers, but he is working a new game next year. And we're actually going to have V back in the Reef Podcast next year to talk about his new upcoming game and something that might happen, but I'm not saying anything. I'm keeping my mouth shut until it happens. So until then, guys, thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. As always, today's episode of the Reef Podcast was streamed live on Twitch. If you could not make it to the live stream of the podcast, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeart Radio. Thanks for listening. See you next time.